What's up, universe? It's your boy Skirt Skirt. I know it's been a while, okay? And a few months ago, when I was on my absolute grind before I took my little schmiatus, I was putting out a video called "The Future of MX-Verse ATV Legends," and in that, we went ahead and dove in to the experimental bike. And I gave you my opinion and what I thought. Well, since then, they've changed all the physics, they've made lots of upgrades, and they brought in all the manufacturers with experimental 450s. Now, I don't really know the answer to this question, but we will ask, because the question today is experimental bikes the future of MX-Verse ATV Legends? That is what we're here to answer and find out. Before I get into this, I would like you guys to know that I will be shouting out at the end all of my new subscribers. I am very thankful to you. We are almost at 500, and that's where the money bag starts. That's the goal, so please support your boy. You guys have been doing great, an amazing job. Leave a comment, as always, and like, and we will jump right into this to see what the heck's going on and if experimental bikes are the future of this game. Alright guys, first thing we're going to jump into on these experimental bikes is to point out the cons. I got pros too, but I also got a lot of cons. So the first thing is I believe that these in-air physics are kind of trash. They definitely need to work on them. I don't know what the deal is, but when you go to wheelie and then whip off of things, it's extremely slow. As you can see, it's not it's not smooth like it should be. So let me see. I'll try again. I'll try to scrub. It's very slow. Here's a better one. Not really about it. And then when you quick scrub, let me see if I can throw a big whip. Throw it back. Yeah, it's hard to bring that front end around. So inner physics definitely need to be worked on. That's my first con. Alright, bringing me to my problem numero dos, the tuning. There is no tuning on these things, not even yet. So every bike you essentially ride as an experimental bike is a stock bike, going slow AF. It is like riding a 250, I'll be honest. And honestly, I think that the 250s, when you put them up to factory level and you tune them out, are probably quicker than these things, because these things are super, super slow. So not only are they slow and there is no tuning, I would think that if they brought in tuning to this, we would see more of an MX bike style tuning, which maybe not goes so far in depth, but you definitely need to give us more tuning on the bike. I'm talking air pressure, I'm talking about fuel levels, I'm talking about clickers on the suspension, setting our sag. Let us have some actual tuning so that we can really, live that life. So they don't have any tuning still, not even the simple tuning, and that's a problem with me. Alright guys, now back to my next con. Now, if you know anything about Skirt, Skirt's not a puss. Also, Skirt never lies. I'm always true with my people. And when I say that this game went from super dope and awesome to absolute shit stick when you're in third person, I'm not lying. Okay, this game is not fun whatsoever with the experimental bikes in third person. I only ride in third person when it comes to the regular riding, and let me tell you, Skirt's known to rip. I've laid wood. I've caused a couple fathers to mourn for their lost daughters, if you know what I'm saying, my guys. And this just ain't it. It's real slow, heavy, sluggish. Maybe it's because there's no tuning. Maybe it's because they need to work on the physics. But I'll tell you right now, what it looks like isn't cool. Now, here's the thing. I've seen footage of simulators. I've been in the loop. I know what's up. Your boy's based. Listen, MX Bikes looks like trash unless you're in first person. I've seen MX Sim. Also, Windows 95 Excite Bike type vibes in third person. So I'm not going to be, I'm going to die. Oh no, I saved it. Oh my god, I saved it. No, listen, I'm not going to lie and say that when it comes to simulators, third person isn't very good. But as third persons go, this one needs a lot of work. It's really hard to determine where the front wheel's at. It's really hard to set up for turns because the bike is heavy. It's just a thing where I lose some of the arcadey fun, and I'm gaining very little of the simulator esque feel at the same time. So, yeah, that's my con. Not a fun game when you have to play it in third person. That's it. And you know what? That's all I got. That's the cream of the crop for my cons. Now we're gonna jump into some pros. Lego. All right, guys, now it's time to start talking about cons, and I'm not talking about Wes Watson. I'm talking about the good parts of the experimental bikes. Now, I'll tell you this, one thing that has blown my mind is how fun the experimental bikes are to ride in third person. It absolutely is insane. It literally makes me want to go ahead and just jump into simulators right now, because the thing is, even though this is in its beta bitch form, what I'm going to say is this: when you're in third or first person, it absolutely feels like you're ripping on these things. And you're not, because it's a stock bike, but I mean, just look at the difference. You just saw my last gameplay, right? So I'm doing the same ass shit, but I can throw whips, I can measure, where the turns are, I'm hitting this clutch, doing all the things, right? And it is just 10 times funner because the bike feels heavy, and you have to like rev it out like watching the air. I'm gonna case this though. There we go. I made it. Well, you have to rev it in the air and in the turns with the clutch held in. And honestly, you can literally just hear it. You feel like Deegan. Watch. Land, and it's just awesome. This third person or first person, sorry, I get it confused. First person is absolutely fire. And honestly, I'm not even a first person gamer. Everyone knows that I rock it in third person on the regular game, but first person on here makes me feel like freaking Eli Tomac, bro. Just absolutely shredding. And this is probably the biggest pro that may just offset, whoa, no, get on the track, may just offset all the other cons to me, because the game just got about 100 times funner, and that shit matters. All right, we're going to go into our next pro in a second. Back with my call. Let's go. All right, guys, for the sake of time, I'm going to combine, I'm going to combine my next two pros. Now, my next two pros are almost why the bikes just in general do feel so much different than the regular bikes, right? So the first pro is the heaviness and weight of the bike. This bike feels, when you're riding it, like an absolute beast. It feels like a 450 should feel, and honestly, I love it. I love having the measured braking, trying to slow your shit down and before a turn. I love how if you, rip it a little too hard, the front wheel gets away. You can literally wheelie almost, I can wheelie literally everywhere. That whole uphill was a wheelie, and it feels so good. So I love all that. So the heaviness of the bike is amazing. The second one that I'll combine in here is the clutch. Obviously, the clutch is one of the biggest changes, and when you're holding in this clutch, let me tell you, you can see the bar on the right, lower right hand. When I just tap it, it goes yellow, right? Because that's like a feathering of the clutch. And then when I hold it in the air, it goes red, and that's the big boost, burnt. So anytime you're in the air, you want to go ahead and rev it with the clutch pulled in. And anytime you're coasting into a turn, be like me, I just do like Tomac and completely pull that bitch in, coast, rev it, and then just dump it. See? Well, that was a bad example, but you know what I'm saying. So the clutch and the heaviness is absolutely insane on these bikes. It's a game changer. It literally makes it feel like you're just ripping out there at your local track, and if your local track was Unadilla, New York, but absolutely insane. Totally a pro. They definitely hit the mark on what it's supposed to be when you're thinking about simulator-esque bikes, and the clutch and the heaviness of the bike are absolutely on par, and I love it. All right, last pro. Let's go. All right, guys, so for this next pro, I went to Supercross because, let me tell you, Supercross is my cup of tea. Also, very tough to do, but this pro has nothing to do with Supercross specifically. It's in general. So the thing I'm talking about now are the crash physics. Now, in the first iteration, fucking someone could leave a used condom on the ground. If you hit that with the front tire, you're going down. It was just terrible. Now, they backed that up a little bit, and they made it a little bit more realistic. Now, when I say realistic, it means if you come up a little short, you're fine. If you go for something big like this, you eat shit instantly and immediately, as you should. As you should. Because it was your fault, you dumbass, and you came up short. And that's the realism that we're looking for. Let me see if I can... Oh, let's see if we can pull it off. Absolutely not, we can't. But you know what? In the original version, we could. And that, to me, little soy. Little soy, if you ask me. Because honestly, I want some realness in my simulator. I want a little bit of that action. If I hit a whoop wrong, if I hit a a lip wrong, if I go for the trip but I give it too much sauce and hit the quad, I want to be able to say oopsies and die just like that. Look at that tough block. Look at that not so tough block making me his bitch. That's what I like to see. So the crash physics absolutely did a great job. Still think this game is dog dicks when it comes to third person, but hey, that's just my opinion. Just not as fun. We're going way slower. It doesn't look as cool. If they went full simulator, I'm gonna tell you this right now, they would absolutely. I would say everybody would be playing in first person, no doubt, because yeah, this first person just doesn't cut it. But the clutch modulation, the crash physics, I'm him, so I can pull off a whip like that when I want to. And this beautiful banana Betty that I'm riding is absolutely getting the job done. So, yeah, that's it. We're going to go into my last pro, which is the pro. And, dare I say, we bring out the freaking Joe Shimoda special? Dare I say, Jet Lords is in the house cooking up the Bobby? Let's go find out. All right, guys, so right here on the HRC Honda, absolutely clapping cheeks. What I want to say is that I think the biggest pro in all this experimental nonsense is that it sets the stage for MX ATV, which has been known to be quite an arcadey game. Oh no! Known to be quite an arcadey game, to actually go ahead and be, in the running for, becoming a simulator in the future. And maybe not full simulator, but with games like Motocross the Game coming out, and then MX Spikes kind of killing it on PC, having a console simulator-esque arcade game would be fire. I know that all of you who actually ride your bikes know what the hell I'm talking about, because ain't nothing better than just pulling in a clutch and just dropping that B and then, just holding it wide around a berm. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to feel, and the game hadn't brought that to us until they decided to go in this direction. Now, is it coming out next game? I don't know. I hope so. I hope they perfect it. I hope all of the cons, not Wes Watson, but all the cons that I brought up, I really hope that they fix them. Because honestly, if they did, and then they made every bike, could you just imagine every bike being an experimental, so everyone has to adjust to this? I feel like that would be an absolute win, and it would be fire. So yeah, I am totally down for that. I feel like they'll have a great market for it, and no one's going to complain. Number one, I won't be complaining because I think this is super dope. So I'm going to lock in, go on mute, just ride the bike, flow the bike, and tell me if you guys in the comments, tell me if you believe that a simulator-esque type situation is the way to go. And there you have it, guys. Hopefully we got closer to answering the question, is a simulation, are the experimental bikes simulator feel, is that the direction that MX vs ATV Legends should go in? I truly believe with some tweaking, it should be. The game, when ridden in first person, takes advantage of the clutch, takes advantage of the heaviness of the bike. It feels more real. We're locked in. We're racing. It's absolutely amazing. It's honestly, from a guy who plays third person all the time in leagues and whatever, and is quick and has top 10s, top 5s, top 3s, on time attacks on the game, I will tell you that I have had the most fun riding these bikes, and I'm passionate about it because I was a pro racer way back in the day, and so I know what it's like to actually be on a bike and ripping, and to have a bike that makes you feel like you're ripping on the track, actually feel, not just look, but feel like you're ripping, that means the world to me. So I would say, yes, this should be the future of the game. Now, as I said, we have new subscribers, and I'd like to thank all of you guys for joining in. Let me go ahead and shout them out because there's a fuck ton load. All right, we're going to go with Skiddo Speed Shop, or it's Skiddo Speed Shop. Thank you, brother. We have Bob Hizzle, my boy, Maddox Baker, K6N, Panini Puncake. What a wonderful name that is. Coleman Dude 5, Aiden 2K, the second, Waylon 15, ATC Revolution, Smart Sped 8605. Sorry, buddy, I cannot read very well. T Chosewood 24. That's my boy. We race together in practice. Lawrence Springer 3033. Death Plugs. Haha. Not to be confused with Death Butt Plugs. No, this is Death Plugs. The real Kamala 2712. I think it's Camley. Oh, Comley. The real Comley 2712. Thank you for subscribing, brother. Scott N2 411, or I think that's Scott NZ 411. Maybe it's New Zealand, not sure. The Trooper 4614 and Alfredo Velez 98. I think I've shouted your name out before, Alfredo, but I didn't want to forget you if I didn't, and if I did already, thank you twice for being such a boss. You guys are great. I had a little bit of a hiatus. I was gone from making videos. I moved across country. I'm East Coast repping now, so I just wanted to tell you guys I appreciate your support. Subscribers and likes and views have been going up even when I was non-active, so that means the world to me. We are shooting to the top. We are almost there. We are so close to 500 subscribers, so please take a moment. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Leave a like and give me a comment. What do you think? Have you ridden the experimental bikes? Do you know what these things are about? Do you think that this game should go in that direction? Leave it in the comments. I respond to everybody because I'm him, and I will see you in the next video. And after that, I'm gonna say skirt, skirt, out.